Good evening, my dear friend. As the day draws to its gentle close and the world around us begins to settle into quietness, I want you to know that you are not alone in this sacred moment. The soft glow of lamplight, the peaceful silence of your room, the way your breathing naturally begins to slow down. All of these are invitations from heaven itself. Tonight, as darkness wraps around us like a gentle blanket, I'm reminded of Psalm 55, verse 22. Cast your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. This evening is not an ending, but a beginning. It's where God starts His most tender work of healing in the beautiful silence of night. The stars have already appeared in the sky above us. A gentle breeze whispers through your window, and your heart is ready to find rest. If this prayer speaks to your soul tonight, I invite you to stay with me as we place everything into God's loving, capable hands. Before we begin this journey together tonight, I'd love to know where you're joining me from around the world. Please take a moment to hit that like button if this message is already touching your heart, and don't forget to subscribe for more peaceful evening prayers that will help you end each day in God's perfect peace. Now let's walk together into this sacred space where worries transform into worship and burdens become blessings. I know this day has been long, perhaps much longer than you expected when you first opened your eyes this morning. Maybe you started today with clear plans, an organized schedule, and hoped that everything would fall neatly into place. But as the hours unfolded, life had different ideas, didn't it? The emails began piling up faster than you could respond, each one carrying its own urgent demand for attention. That difficult phone call with your boss left you feeling unsettled and questioning your performance. Then came the unexpected medical bill in the mailbox, the one you weren't prepared for, making your heart skip a beat as you calculated how it would affect this month's budget. Your phone buzzed with a text message from a family member sharing news that added another layer of concern to your already full plate. Your shoulders began to tense without you even realizing it, your jaw clenched tighter with each new challenge that presented itself. You found yourself breathing in short, shallow breaths instead of the deep, peaceful ones that come so naturally when life feels manageable. The questions started quietly at first, then grew louder as the day progressed. What if I can't handle this situation? What if things get worse instead of better? What if I'm simply not strong enough, smart enough, prepared enough for what lies ahead? These thoughts felt like carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones, each worry adding more weight to your weary shoulders. You've been holding your breath for hours without realizing it, your body in a constant state of alert, ready for the next challenge to appear. Every muscle in your neck and back tells the story of a day spent fighting battles both seen and unseen. The pressure builds like steam in a kettle, and you wonder how much more you can possibly carry. Maybe you've been putting on a brave face for everyone around you, smiling when asked how you're doing, responding with the expected, "I'm fine," even though your heart feels anything but fine. The mask becomes heavier as the day wears on, and the gap between how you appear and how you actually feel grows wider with each passing hour. But here's what I want you to know, my friend. Every single person watching this video tonight knows exactly what I'm talking about. You're not alone in feeling overwhelmed. You're not the only one who started the day with confidence and ended it feeling uncertain. This shared human experience of carrying more than we thought we could handle is precisely why we need this time together. This sacred space where honesty meets grace, where exhaustion meets divine rest. Your body remembers every stress from today. Your mind replays every conversation that didn't go as planned. Your heart feels heavy with responsibilities that seem to multiply rather than diminish. And that's exactly why this moment right now is so important. Because night has fallen, and with it comes the invitation to release what was never ours to carry in the first place. As darkness settles around us tonight, something shifts in the atmosphere of our souls. The busy sounds of daytime have faded away, leaving only the gentle ticking of a clock somewhere in the distance. In these quiet hours, the problems we could postpone during daylight suddenly feel urgent and pressing in our minds. There's something about nighttime that amplifies our concerns. Isn't there? I remember those nights when I'd wake at 3 in the morning, my mind immediately racing with worries that seemed manageable just hours before. In the darkness, financial concerns transform into overwhelming mountains. That conversation with the doctor when he said, "We'll keep monitoring," plays on repeat, and every possible meaning feels more serious than it probably is. The silence amplifies every unanswered text message, every relationship that feels strained, every decision that needs to be made but seems impossible to figure out. In the daylight, we can distract ourselves with busy work conversations, music, television, anything to keep our minds occupied. But here in the honest quiet of evening, there's nowhere to hide from the thoughts that have been waiting patiently for this moment of stillness. The weight on your chest feels heavier when you're lying down. Your heart beats faster when there's nothing else competing for your attention. How will I pay for my child's college education? The numbers just don't add up, no matter how many times I calculate them. What did my spouse really mean when they said, "We need to talk tomorrow"? Why hasn't my friend returned my calls this week? Did I say something wrong? Am I making the right choices for my family's future? These questions circle like vultures, waiting to dive deeper into our consciousness. The feeling of helplessness grows stronger in the darkness. During the day, we can take action, make phone calls, send emails, cross items off our to-do lists. But at night, most of the world is asleep, and we're left alone with thoughts that seem to grow larger and more intimidating with each passing minute. Our palms grow sweaty, our breathing becomes shallow, and that familiar heaviness settles across our chest like a weighted blanket we never asked for. We begin to realize something profound in these moments. I cannot fix everything. I cannot control the outcome of every situation. I cannot guarantee that tomorrow will be easier than today. This realization can feel terrifying at first, like standing at the edge of a cliff and looking down into an abyss of uncertainty. But what if I told you that this feeling of helplessness, this acknowledgement of our human limitations, is actually the beginning of something beautiful? What if the moment when we stop trying to be in control of everything is precisely when God can begin to show us His control over everything? The darkness that feels so isolating might actually be the perfect canvas for God's light to shine brightest. Tonight, instead of fighting these feelings of limitation, instead of being afraid of what we cannot control, let's see them as an invitation to discover that our weakness is the exact place where God's strength becomes most visible, most transformative in our lives. There comes a moment in every person's life when holding on becomes harder than letting go, when the effort required to maintain control costs more than the peace that comes with surrender. Tonight, my friend, we've reached that moment together. I'm reminded of teaching a young child to release a helium balloon, watching their tiny fingers slowly open, letting go, so the balloon could rise toward the sky where it belonged. Tonight, I choose to open my hands. I choose to unclench my fists that have been tightly gripping every worry, every fear, every burden that I was never designed to carry. One by one, I'm going to place each concern before you, Lord, like a child bringing broken toys to a loving Father who knows exactly how to fix them. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, the one who has never failed to supply what I truly need, I give you my financial fears tonight. the bills that seem larger than my bank account, the expenses that arrived unexpectedly, the retirement savings that feel inadequate, the college funds that need to grow faster than they're growing. I place every dollar sign, every number that keeps me awake at night, into your capable hands. You fed 5,000 people with a few loaves and fishes. You provided water from a rock in the desert. You know exactly what I need, when I need it, and how it will arrive. Jehovah Rapha, my healer, the God who restores what is broken and makes whole what is damaged. I place my body and my family's well-being into your hands tonight. The test results were waiting for the symptoms that concern us, the aging parents whose health feels fragile, the children whose futures we want to protect. I cannot heal anyone, but you specialize in restoration. You knit us together in our mother's womb, and you know every cell, every heartbeat, every breath. What feels like illness to me is an opportunity for your healing power to be displayed, Jehovah Shalom. My peace, the one who calms storms, both external and internal. I surrender my need to know every detail of tomorrow. The job interview next week, the difficult conversation that's been postponed too long, the decision about moving to a new city, the relationship that feels uncertain. I place my need for guarantees, my desire for crystal clear vision of the future, into your hands that have already written every day of my life. Lord of love. The one who invented every healthy relationship, I release my desire to control how others respond to me. The friend who seems distant, the family member who misunderstood my intentions, the coworker who makes my days more difficult than they need to be. I cannot change another person's heart, but you specialize in transformation that happens from the inside out. It feels like setting down stones from a heavy backpack one by one until my shoulders can finally relax and my spine can straighten. Each burden I place at your feet is a burden I no longer have to carry through another sleepless night. I am not designed to bear what only you can bear. Your shoulders are broader than mine, your wisdom deeper than my understanding, your love more persistent than my fears. The relief is immediate, isn't it? The way my neck muscles begin to loosen, the way my breathing naturally becomes deeper and more rhythmic. Tonight, I choose trust over control, faith over fear, surrender over struggle. As I release these burdens into God's faithful hands, something beautiful begins to happen in the sacred space between letting go and receiving peace. It's like watching seeds planted in dark soil, invisible to the naked eye, but absolutely active with life and growth and potential. The work is happening even when we cannot see it, especially when we cannot see it. I think about the prophet Elijah, exhausted and afraid, listening for God's voice. The voice didn't come in the earthquake or the wind or the fire, but in the gentle whisper, the quiet stillness that required complete attention to hear. In this quiet moment tonight, God is working in ways that are invisible to my natural eyes, but completely visible to the eyes of faith. Right now, as we rest in this peaceful surrender, divine activity is unfolding in ways we cannot imagine. New opportunities are being prepared by hands we'll never see. The hearts of people who can help us are being softened toward compassion. Solutions to problems that seem impossible are being crafted by the one who speaks worlds into existence with a single word. My health is being restored at the cellular level while I sleep by the same God who breathed life into the first human being. Wisdom for tomorrow's decisions is being downloaded into my spirit by the one who knows the end from the beginning. Financial provision is being arranged through channels I haven't even considered by the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. What feels like delay in my timeline might actually be divine preparation in God's timeline. That job I didn't get last month might have saved me from a company that's about to downsize. That relationship that ended painfully might have protected me from someone who couldn't love me the way God intended me to be loved. That medical diagnosis that scared me might be leading me toward a doctor who will provide exactly the treatment I need. I remember a time when I waited months for a breakthrough that felt like it would never come. Every day felt like evidence that God had forgotten about me, that my prayers were bouncing off the ceiling instead of reaching heaven. Then, on an ordinary Tuesday morning, a phone call came with news that changed everything. The timing wasn't just good. It was perfect. Every day of waiting had been necessary preparation for a blessing I couldn't have received any sooner. God's timing is not my timing, but it is always perfect timing. His ways are not my ways, but they are always ways that lead to something better than I could have planned for myself. What looks like silence from my perspective might actually be the sound of God working behind the scenes in ways that will amaze me when the full picture is revealed. Tonight, I choose to rest in this truth. God is working while I sleep. He is orchestrating circumstances, aligning people, preparing blessings, arranging divine appointments, and setting up victories that will unfold in His perfect time. Jehovah Shalom. You are my peace in every storm, my calm in every chaos, my rest in every season of uncertainty. The feeling that washes over me now is like sitting by a warm fireplace while a snowstorm rages outside. I am safe, I am warm, I am protected, and I am loved. Rest is not giving up. It's trusting that God is awake even when I'm asleep working, even when I'm resting, caring, even when I'm not worrying. Sleep is one of God's greatest gifts to humanity, a daily reminder that we were never meant to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders alone. While we rest, our bodies enter into a miraculous process of repair and restoration. Science has shown us that during sleep our cells regenerate, our immune systems strengthen, and our minds process and organize the experiences of the day. But this is only the physical dimension of something far more profound. God designed sleep to be a time of soul restoration, a daily opportunity for divine healing that reaches deeper than any medicine could ever penetrate. Psalm 127 verse 2 reminds us that He grants sleep to those He loves. And tonight, I'm claiming that promise with complete confidence. I've experienced mornings when I woke up with a completely different perspective on a problem that seemed insurmountable the night before. The same circumstances, the same facts, but somehow everything felt manageable, hopeful, possible again. That transformation didn't happen because of anything I did while I was sleeping. It happened because God was working in the depths of my spirit while my conscious mind was at rest. Tonight, as I prepare to sleep, I'm inviting God to do His deepest work of healing in every area that needs His touch. In my mind, where anxiety has been playing the same worried thoughts on repeat, like a broken record, let that mental noise be replaced with your peace that surpasses all understanding. Transform my anxious thoughts into grateful thoughts, my fearful predictions into hopeful expectations. In my emotions, where the stress of the day has created tension and imbalance, let anger melt into understanding, frustration dissolve into patience, sadness transform into joy that comes from knowing I am completely loved, like ice melting in spring sunshine. Let every negative emotion be warmed by your love until it becomes something beautiful and life-giving. In my physical body, where the strain of carrying burdens has created knots in my muscles, tension in my neck, and heaviness in my chest. Release every tight muscle, calm every rapid heartbeat, slow down every anxious breath. Let your healing touch reach into every cell, every organ, every system, restoring what needs restoration and strengthening what needs strength. In my spirit, where faith has sometimes felt weak and hope has sometimes felt distant, renew my trust in your goodness. Restore my confidence in your love. Refresh my certainty that you have good plans for my future. Like putting dirty clothes into a washing machine, I'm placing my weary spirit into your care tonight, knowing that morning will bring a fresh, clean sense of purpose and possibility. Lord, as I sleep tonight, heal what needs healing in ways I cannot even imagine. Jehovah Rapha, you make all things new, and I trust you to make new what feels old and tired in my life. I don't need to stay awake to make sure your work gets done. I don't need to monitor your progress or supervise your methods. I can rest like a child in my Father's arms, completely secure in your love and completely confident in your power. The peace I feel right now is like a gentle wave washing over the shore of my soul, carrying away the debris of worry and leaving behind smooth, clean sand where tomorrow's blessings can leave their beautiful imprints. Tonight, I choose peace. I place everything into your hands. Lord, every single concern that has weighed on my heart throughout this long day. Looking back on this evening's journey, I can see the transformation that has taken place in my spirit from exhaustion to rest, from anxiety to trust, from carrying heavy burdens to experiencing light shoulders and a peaceful heart. As you close your eyes tonight, my dear friend, I want you to remember this truth that will guard your sleep and bless your dreams. You rest tonight under divine protection. The same God who never slumbers nor sleeps has assigned angels to watch over your rest, to guard your dreams, and to prepare tomorrow's path before you even wake up. Tomorrow has not yet arrived, but God is already there, arranging circumstances, preparing opportunities, and working out details that will amaze you when they unfold. The sunrise that will greet you in the morning carries with it fresh mercies, new possibilities, and renewed strength for whatever the day may bring. Here is a truth I want to echo in your spirit as you drift off to sleep. Nothing is lost in God's hands, even while you sleep. Every prayer you've prayed, every tear you've cried, every burden you've carried, every act of faith you've demonstrated, it's all been carefully collected and treasured by a God who wastes nothing and uses everything for your ultimate good. May your sleep tonight be deep and restorative, reaching into the depths of your being with healing and renewal. May your dreams be filled with hope, with glimpses of the beautiful future God has planned for you, with reminders of His faithful love that never fails. May you wake tomorrow morning with renewed strength in your body, clarity in your mind, and peace in your heart that can only come from a night spent resting in divine care. If this prayer has blessed your heart and brought peace to your spirit tonight, I invite you to let me know in the comments below. What burden are you placing into God's hands tonight? What worry are you choosing to release? Your testimony might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to find their own breakthrough. Please take a moment to like this video if it has ministered to you. Share it with someone who needs this message of hope, and subscribe for more peaceful evening prayers that will help you end each day in God's perfect rest. Thank you for joining me in this sacred time of surrender and peace. Thank you for trusting me to walk with you through the process of releasing burdens and finding rest. Your willingness to seek God's peace instead of fighting through another sleepless night is an act of faith that honors Him and blesses your own soul. Sleep well tonight, beloved child of God. You are held in hands that are stronger than any storm you will ever face. You are loved with a love that is deeper than any fear you will ever experience. You are never alone, not in the darkness of night, not in the uncertainty of tomorrow, not in any moment of your precious life. Rest now in the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that guards your heart and mind in Christ Jesus, the peace that transforms ordinary sleep into sacred restoration. Good night, my friend. Until we meet again tomorrow evening, may God's perfect peace be your pillow and His unfailing love be your blanket.